Oh, hello. Yeah, we could do like from a former chef, let's go, but also no, because um, I had something ready to be posted about a certain group of people online. Yeah, the influ hustlers. I don't know if it's an actual word, but to me it seemed like a good combination. And no, not gonna post it. It was gonna be the influ hustler Jessica Kent edition. I think I'm gonna jump right to Influ Hustler Guru edition. Yeah, that makes more sense. Anyway, it was in a form of a recipe. Yeah, whatever. Okay, it's like what? Doesn't make any sense. It might make some sense. Because if what people feed us online, they're blah blah, okay. Yeah, there's a lot of decent people out there, but also no, there's also a lot of people that instead of giving out fresh, genuine stuff, they use recycled shit that's about to or is already expired, and if you take it in, it's gonna make you sick eventually. So that's how I looked at Jessica Kent's recipe for an online career. And maybe it could have been a good start. Maybe when she started YouTube, she had good intentions. If she did, I don't want to take it away from her, but what it turned into, wow, just wow. And I was looking at it, comparing what she was supposed to do, what she said she was going to do. Yeah, advocate for mental health. Instead, she spread stigma. Yay. For recovery. The freaking stay safe, stay sober motto instead became a joke. Yeehaw. And the advocating for prison reform, well, that was just never there. Yeah. There was a void instead of prison reform advocacy. So I summed it up in a few points, comparing what it could have been like, what it turned into, and how she cooked it, how she freaking flipped it over and over and over like a fucking omelet. Yeah. Instead of being a bit more straightforward, since her channel was supposed to be about real talk, about real stuff. But it never was. Yeah, so that's the resume. And I didn't post it because I put in there also the experience of two other people that I thought were unjustly fucked over by Jessica. Two people, Mindy and Nicole. They also had addiction problems like Jessica in the past. They talked about their struggles. And yeah, this is the part where I don't know, I'm it's heavy, So I think I'm gonna take a break from all this because it ain't worth it. People are not dumb. I don't know why there's people out there that say that other people are dumb. They will never figure out what manipulation is about. No, I don't think people are dumb. I think people can very well figure it out themselves. Jessica's channel's not having that many views now. Why? Go figure. Oh, could it be there's this manipulation behind it and lies and... Oh yeah, sure. So were Mindy's and Nicole's channels any better? Well, that's the point. I thought they didn't deserve to be threatened or have their channels terminated. One of Nicole's channels got shut down. Mindy's businesses went to shit because Jessica at one point said don't buy from her, she relapsed. And at the same time, Jessica conveniently forgot to say that well, Mindy asked for help and she wasn't exactly helping her. She brought Mindy into a situation that wasn't much better than the situation she was at, minus a fucking dude that would beat her too. Yeah, and have a lot of drugs around him. But we're gonna talk about receipts and things that are out there, not about she said, he said. You know, let's do it like that for once, okay? Yeah, Mindy said that her ex, this Frank Polino, would beat her a lot and would threaten her with a gun a lot. Okay? This dude didn't have DV charges though, okay? Now, no one wants to take away from Mindy whatever she's been through, but if the most disturbing feature of Jessica's is that she goes for people's throats, yeah, she's trying to basically make sure that the people she thinks crossed her don't ever get back on their feet when she's done with them. Ever. I don't see the difference between her and Mindy, to be honest. I don't see it. I only see that Jessica has more subscribers, but the MO, same. Where's the fucking difference? There's none. Now, let's ask ourselves the balance question. Okay, what is that? Well, it's the question about what one would be like if one had that bitch's or that motherfucker's brain, upbringing, and life experience. Okay? So I asked myself, if I had Jessica's brain, upbringing, and life experience, what would I be? Better, worse, same? I don't know. Same with Mindy, same with anybody who's in this picture. But it's not quite working for me anymore. Because the latest freaking element in this saga, Mindy saying, Jessica, you're an utter bitch, you couldn't go any lower, you tagged Frankie, the dude that beat me and threatened me and that is in jail now for shooting the dude, which you didn't know about, so you thought that by tagging Frankie would bring his attention to me and a situation that you made up about me fucking your ex, Jessica. So you were basically trying to piss Frankie off so that he would go after me. Was that the plan? You know, Frankie, the pussy with a gun, you know, like in the Shoot 'Em Up movie. I don't know who said it in that movie, but there was a guy who at one point said this: even a pussy can feel like a man or a tough guy or whoever with a gun in his hand. So Frankie being a shooter, I'm sorry, okay? Pussy with a gun, okay. We have a pussy with a gun in the picture. A pussy that's going to do time. According to Mindy, a long time. So Frankie's not going to go after her. But, again, Mindy says Frankie could have homies around that are not in prison that could go after her because maybe Frankie asks them to. Okay? Stuff like that. Now, I'm going to pause very briefly from this before I go to Tracy, who's also a DV survivor. and who Mindy doxed, not caring one fucking bit about the fact that Tracy's abuser is still out there. He's not in prison. He could find her. And I emailed Mindy about it, and she replied. So I'm gonna go into it in a minute. I just want to pause briefly and say, why am I even opening my mouth about it? Like, why? What the fuck? Like, what's my motive here? What's the reason? Why am I not cooking, okay? Since I'm a fucking chef. I mean, former chef, because I don't do service anymore. I do cooking classes now, because service is tough. And, as you get older, it's not so easy to do service, especially for a woman. So I did my years of service. Now I'm doing other stuff. I'm teaching. I cook in a more chill way. It is amazing. I love it. But, to be a chef, it needs something. It needs something that is not always liked by other people. Chefs have a certain type of mentality. And yeah, chefs normally don't sugarcoat shit. It's about work. Can you cook? Can you not? And it's not about like there's something in between. You either can or not. So with other things, it is similar. It's kind of like, yeah, okay, let's talk. Oh my God, you've got some impossible changes in the menu, whatever. Let's do what we can. It's about fucking, putting some effort into it, okay? So my reason here is that all these things, yeah, believe it or not, mental health, recovery, and prison are close to me. One way or the other, they're close to me. There are people around me, okay, that struggled with either one or two or maybe all three of these things even. I never met my dad, my biological father, because he spent years in prison. And I thought that in the memory of him, yeah, because when it could have been the right time to meet, he had passed away, so it didn't happen. And I kind of thought I owed it to him to educate myself a little bit about inmates, like hear what inmates have to say, what some of them have been through, and learn about the difference. Because I'm sure there's decent people in prison, but I'd say there fucking have to be a shitload of manipulators in there too. And when it comes to YouTube and YouTube prison channels, okay, personally, only a personal opinion. It's not some sort of universal truth, and I'm not playing moral police here, but what the fuck? Like, how many fucking manipulators are there on YouTube that have prison channels? And it's not just about, okay, we did this and that and this and that and this and that, as if they were freaking writing a corporate CV instead of at one point maybe saying, oh, well, listen, the people that I fucked over were actual people, and I realize that now, so I'm sorry. Like, how often does that happen? It's always like, I'm not glorifying crime, but I was so fucking good at it that I have to tell you. Okay, fine. And the fucking code, okay? That, like, doesn't even fucking exist because it can be switched up and flipped over like a fucking omelet every time. Like, okay, snitches suck and they should fucking die probably. But, oh, well, you know what? I snitched too because I wanted time off of my sentence. So I did, I was in a tight spot, so I told on people. But they never did any time because they either died or something else happened to them. It wasn't because of me. Really? Like, okay. I don't know what I would do. Didn't happen. I was never sitting in an interrogation room with someone who would tell me, oh, you're going to do X many years. So I don't know how it feels like. But this code fucking sucks. Even to hear about it, to be like, oh, the snitches and that dude snitched, this bitch snitched, and then, oh, okay. And all that, like, I've got a homie in this state and I've got homies out there, so even if my ass is rotting in prison, if you cross me, you will never be safe because I've got homies out there that could, get you. Really? Oh my god. You know what? I think I'm gonna throw up. Like, fuck your code. What's that about? Like, what? Code because you can't just, like, be decent to people at one point? Like, it doesn't happen, ever? I'm sure there's many decent people out there who learned the lesson and turned their life around, like, for real. But to hear some of these motherfuckers, like, repeat it, online, be like, well, I was about that life, but... And then it's like, but what? Like, where is the change? Like, the way you talk doesn't show it at all. So, what you saying? Like, what did actually fucking change? Okay, and I don't see why people that have more followers should be, like, more under the lens, and the people that have less followers, like, they can do it and it's okay because, like, they don't influence that many people. Like, what the fuck? So, time to go back to Mindy. Mindy's got, like, I don't know, 7-something thousand followers. I heard a couple of lives of hers recently. I don't know why it happened like this. Why I watched a certain sequence of videos of Jessica's, and it took a few videos to, like, see that the clues about how she actually behaves were all there. In the most popular videos of hers, it was there, it was right there, in plain sight. Before anything else, she started shitting on her sister, and the way she trashed her and called her Voldemort. I was like, what? Yeah, like, you turned your life around, but you treat your family like that online? Your sister doesn't have a channel, she won't be able to say anything back, defend herself, or anything of that sort. And still, you do it. Fuck you, like, not watching, sorry. And when YouTube would suggest it, I would maybe watch again, with the hope that maybe something changed for the better, but that was never the case. It went from, even Jessica writing a fucking corporate CV, talking about why I went to prison. I was so good at efficient perfectionist, a Virgo. I was profiting off of dealing and selling substances, and a kid almost died, but he survived, he overdosed, and I hated him anyway. I wanted him dead. I threatened his life on top of everything else. She talked about this kid, like, I don't know, several times. I was like, you ever, like, reformed? Like, in what way? Tell me. Because, I'm waiting. In what way did you reform? You talk about this kid as if he was a fucking accessory to your storytelling. He was an actual person. Oh, he snitched? Oh my god. You never did, right? Like, what came out later about you being a CO? Wow. Oh, whatever. He snitched. Okay, so he deserved to be threatened. So, Mindy did, like, a couple of lives about how Jessica tagged her abuser, Frankie, Mindy's abuser. How he was a shooter, and she exposed her, like, on so many levels to danger that it was just fucked up. It was like shitting on all the DVsurvivors. So up until then, I was like, oh my god, you know what, Mindy, I think you have a point. And if the whole idea behind, you and other 5, 6, 7 ladies tried to bring Jessica Kent down, online at least, okay? Maybe not in real life, I hope. I mean, come on, remember the question, what would one be with Jessica's brain, upbringing, and life experience? But then Mindy started to talk about real violence versus, imaginary violence. And mind you, Mindy likes to present herself as a person who could manipulate the shit out of you and make you hurt yourself. Okay? With her demeanor, with her words only. That's how powerful of a manipulation game Mindy has. Yeah. I think I just threw up in my mouth a little bit. So, a person that's been manipulated for too long maybe, or depends by whom also, could also, what's the correct term? Unalive themselves. Wow. A person that has a gun pointed at him could also be unalived, sure. There's an immediate threat, 50-50, right? Exactly that. So with the manipulation, it's the longer it goes on, and it depends who does it, the percentage could be bigger and bigger. Bigger than 50. For sure. At one point. So that's some violence though. Not real violence, not enough of violence, not, I don't know, enough violent of a violence. I don't know, what the fuck? Okay. The financial violence, someone controlling your finances. That's not a thing even? Okay. Psychological violence is not a thing. S violence, not a thing too. Just the guns pointed at you and someone hitting you is violence. The other things are not enough of a violence to you. Okay, Mindy, nice. But Jessica shit it on all DVsurvivors. Yeah, she sure did. Because that is low. It's so low that you would have to dig to get any lower. But how come you're so very fucking close to her level of low? Remember doxing a certain Tracy who crossed you because she had something to say about your friend Nicole, and how you two had to go with her, and mysteriously Tracy got doxed. She posted a video where she was having sort of a mental breakdown, crying about how all the bitches from the Jessica Kent anti-community were foul, including you two, how it was all messed up. Then it came out that the one who was okay in Tracy's eyes was actually behaving in a similar way, plotting, working behind the scenes, working people up, and blah blah blah. Whatever. I'm not gonna dig it up and dedicate time to it. Also, the dirty deleting, that's a new term that I learned. Thank you for that. Jessica dirty deleted over and over and over. Oh, hang on a second. When you did a live about Nicole, that was one of the few lives that I saw in real time. It instantly disappeared, but you were saying all kinds of things about Nicole, Mindy, how she was never a friend, she was after you because you had certain compromising emails about Jessica cheating with another guy on her long-term, then fiance, now ex. At that point, that guy that she cheated with was not a good guy because He was supposedly after you because Jessica wanted so, and he was willing to do so. He was willing to be, one of the homies that is after you, no matter where you are. The code. Now you're friends with him. The phone calls, yeah, from prison with him. It's a federal prison phone call every fucking 5 minutes. That's with him, right? So he's a good guy now. Oh, like a fucking omelet. It gets flipped over and over and over. So it's like, okay, now it's like it was before. No, not yet. Because maybe you flip it one more time and he's not going to be a friend anymore. Depends. But for now he is. But he wasn't. And before he was. Or wasn't. I don't know. But what's important here is how you dox Tracy. And guess what? Her abuser, her ex and abuser, is out there. He's not in prison. You didn't think about that, right? Oh, her ex is not a shooter and your channel didn't have enough subscribers back in the day. And no one fucking saw it who could tell him. He wouldn't see it because he's not subscribed. Well, bitch, I'm not subscribed either. And I saw it. Yeah, I live in Europe. I'm not gonna ever see any of you anywhere. Thank God. But, okay. You know what I mean? In your case, even if one person saw it and told Frankie, and Frankie then told the homie, that would have been already too much. One fucking view of what Jessica put out and tagged you and him, him, under. One view would have been too many. But you had only 4,000 subscribed. I wrote you an email about Jessica, how I feel about her. I put in how I watched from the sidelines because my own shit with motherfuckers like JK in real life ended well. Yeah, I paid for help and it ended well for that reason. For once, I came out of it unfucked over. So it wasn't stirring my shit anymore. And it was around the time when I found Jessica's channel about 2 years ago. Okay? And I'm kind of happy that I watched, I don't know, the minimum amount of videos, like 20, 25 of Jessica's. I watched a couple of lives of yours, a couple of lives of Nicole's, and I was like, what's the fucking difference? Everybody's flipping it like an omelet. One day, that chick is an enemy, she sucks, she's a hoe. But if she's good to take Jessica down, then she's a friend again after you doxed her. And vice versa. Like, come on, Tracy hated you too. Now you're friends, apparently. Okay. But you doxed her, and her abuser is still out there. What if I was a DV victim, okay? What if I didn't like it one bit? What if I didn't like your shit talk about what is actual violence and what is not? What is violent enough of a violence? Fuck you, you don't know. What do you mean? I watched a couple of lives where, yeah, okay, people were probably posting shitty comments. But to tell them repeatedly, oh my God, I'll make you hurt yourself. Whew. No. Because you would have to at least appear as someone who didn't fuck the important things in life up. Okay? Which you did. Okay? One could point it out, put it in a nice fucking list, and be like, oh, hang on a sec. What's your relationship with, like, the closest person to you right now? What it was like before? What did you do around the people that you were supposed to be there for? You know what I mean? You want to tell people shit that will make them hurt themselves? You would at least have to appear as someone who doesn't suck at the basic things in life. Then you might do it. Okay? Pretty simple. So, fuck the code. Fuck people that I can't even believe it can be done. Like, how? You can do it like with a straight face online, talking about what is not violent enough of violence. How? Oh, because there was a pussy with a gun in your life. Okay. Nice. People that get gaslit and manipulated the shit out of them to the point that they would like to end their life. That's not violence. Okay. Oh, good to know, you know. You might put it in your fucking code, you know. Maybe it will become like one of the fundamental points, you know, like no snitching, but yes, snitching when it comes to me and my buddies, but the others are dry snitching and blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Or the homies. It's okay if a homie has homies in other places and they can make people feel unsafe. But it's not okay if Frankie does it to you. Does Jason have homies where Jessica's at? Or did he say it and were you like kind of laughing about it and be like, oh well, now she'll never feel safe. That's what we want. Where's the fucking difference? Where's the fucking difference between you exposing another DV survivor, Tracy? Maybe she will swear, okay, on a fucking Bible or something, or on, I don't know, on a makeup kit, that it didn't bother her. Now, well, yes, her abuser's still out there, but no, it's not because of you, because other people doxed her too. And I'm gonna read the emails that we exchanged. And I'm gonna post the screenshots of it, okay, so that people that want to read it can. Let's see. Okay. Hang on a second. So, should I read mine too? Yeah, I think it's fair to read both. So mine's like, hi Mindy. Oh, the subject of the email. Tracy doxed by her abuser, but her abuser still out there, right? That's the subject of the email. And I'm writing, hi Mindy, not judging, and for what it's worth, I would say that the good outweighs the questionable in what you do online. Well, I don't think that anymore, Mindy. Not after I've read what you replied. English is not my mother tongue. Yeah, it's not. And my writing probably sucks. It sure does. So I hope what follows won't come across as disrespectful. Okay, I tried to be nice. I'm asking the above question because I had a recording ready to be posted about JK never truly advocating for mental health, recovery, or prison reform, and mentioned Nicole and you in it as people who didn't deserve to be threatened or to lose channels and businesses just because JK felt you've crossed her. An explanation about her shitting on DVsurvivors with what she did to you versus you doxing Tracy, whose abuser is still out there, would be nice though. Yeah, an explanation about this would be nice. So, I think it's a fair question. Could be wrong. And if you don't feel like answering, that's fine. My recording about JK can always be done differently. I don't know if I'm even gonna do it anymore. I don't know. I think people are not dumb. They can figure shit out themselves. Jessica's channel has like very little views, so I think people already figured it out. They don't need someone reminding them that Jessica never actually advocated for mental health or recovery or prison reform. But I have a friend in real life, and she's got an ASPD diagnosis too, the antisocial personality diagnosis. And I didn't like how Jessica went about it, okay? And my friend in real life, oh yeah, she could tell a success story. She worked for it, she works for it. It's like double shifts. She actually keeps her traits in check, doesn't fuck people over, doesn't behave in a fucked up way. And in what, like over a decade of friendship, I think I would have noticed, okay, if she had the tendency to go for the shortcut and fuck people over or flip it like an omelette over and over and over like these bitches do. So my friend doesn't deserve stigma. Neither do people that try to do everything in their power to keep their traits, whatever traits these are, okay, it could be ASPD, narcissistic, whatever. If people make the effort to keep their traits in check, why should they be stigmatized by some shallow bitch that just needs to make content? So I didn't like that about Jessica, how she labeled everybody with disorders and how she talked about her own ASPD as if it was like a cookie cutter diagnosis for everybody that ever got arrested. So, fuck that. I might do a recording on that too. I don't know, maybe do some justice to my friend and people like her that actually do good in life. And their diagnoses, even though it could be ASPD, does not define them. Okay? Maybe YouTube is a trigger and these people, they get triggered, and once they have a bit of following and a bit of power and a bit of, voice out there, it happens and they start to fucking behave like that. Go for other people's throats because you said something, oh my god, I'm gonna make sure that my homies and this and that, and that you will forever and ever regret it. Oh, okay. Where was I with this email? Okay, my recording about JK can always be done differently. I would, like, more than anything, maybe talk about my friend. And yeah, maybe how Jessica wasn't an advocate to begin with, but whatever. And I think asking you directly in private about Tracy being also potentially exposed to her ex and abuser could also be a heads up. Okay, maybe someone else brings it up, then you're ready. Because I don't know what you're gonna answer, but she did answer and it fucking felt like reading a TikTok script. Okay, like the 30-second answer with boom, boom, boom. I'm just gonna highlight what suits me. I'm gonna get to it. So, last bit. Many of us out there got fucked over in life by people like JK, so it's no surprise that her going right for the throat of whoever crossed her. And at that point, I meant also Mindy and Nicole, but I don't know. So that she would always go for the throat rubs so many people the wrong way, and it's no surprise, okay. The same would apply to the behavior of the people who called her out, though. If certain lines get crossed and someone risks to get hurt in real life, okay? I don't like Jessica Kent one bit, but I don't think she should get hurt in real life. Like, nobody should. Nobody. My ordeal with a MF, motherfucker, like her, eventually ended well. Yeah, because I paid a good lawyer who did the talking, and I went home with what was mine without someone stirring up the old shit. I came out of it unfucked over for once, yeah. So that alone spared me the need to comment online. Yeah, I didn't feel the need. I never commented under any videos of anybody. With Jessica's, I would have been tempted, but then there were these other ladies, okay? I don't want to call them bitches. Like, I mean, it's like a way of saying, I don't know, a girl, okay? But ladies, okay? Let's stick to ladies. And I like to keep it that way, yeah, because you know what, that type of shit is heavy on the soul, I think. Or it's triggering, you know, and it could trigger certain traits. Maybe it did trigger traits in these ladies and in Jessica, I don't know. Anyway, I want to protect my peace, so I don't comment, and I would like to keep it that way. That's the last thing I wrote. Oh no, but I feel that people who got hurt in the process and keep calling out the whole lies, manipulation, bullshit. Like, I feel the people. Yeah, okay. It's like I feel you. If you're calling people out, I mean, fine. Because maybe it's still stirring up your shit. It's taking a toll on you, so yeah, okay. That's fine with me. So I'm in no rush to put out heads up content about her never being a true advocate for anything until I found the right way to do it. Yeah, that was exactly the point. I included these two, Mindy and Nicole, and I thought it was right, and it wasn't. Because this, oh my God, you keep saying out loud on every live that you could be able to make people hurt themselves. Fuck you. Because I've been around people like that. I doubt that you are actually able to do it. Because to do it, you should not appear as someone who fucked up even the most basic things in life. Okay? No. Anyway, that's about it. Any thought would be most welcome. Take care. And I put my name there. Okay. She replied. Where is it? Oh. My God. So small. Tracy got doxxed on my YouTube channel off at the time 4K subs. What are the odds her abuser knows me? Question mark. Subs to me? Question mark. 0 to none. Really? When Jessica tagged Frankie, even one view would have been too many, right? You had 4K sub. Oh, whatever. Okay. 0 to none. In what? Okay. She was doxxed in JK's live stream first. That I don't know. Maybe it's true. JK tagged my abuser. Sought him out. Found him. Tagged him. Not even kind of the same thing. But it is. Because Tracy felt the same way you felt. That a motherfucker that was after her could find her. Yeah. It's the same for all survivors, Mindy. We have a shiver through our whole fucking body when we think about even the chance to see a certain motherfucker face to face. It doesn't matter how many years have passed. Okay? It doesn't matter what was done to us. There's people out there for some of us that we would not want to see even for a second. Especially without any heads up, you know? Like, oh, he just fucking appears because someone told him where I live. Fuck you. Fuck you for that. Fuck you. And that's it. So, yeah. This is what I had to say. And I'm sure it's a very unpopular opinion. Okay? I don't wish any harm on Mindy, Jessica, Nicole, anybody. I am for wake-up calls, though. Okay? So, bitch, wake up. Maybe YouTube is triggering something in you that shouldn't be triggered. Maybe it should be kept in check instead. Okay? Maybe you should work on that instead. My very humble, personal fucking opinion. Thank you. Okay, and for anybody who's still here, I don't know. Take it with a heap of salt. Like, I don't know. I'm so disappointed. Like, I have to be honest. I am. Because we all want, I don't know, the good person to be there somewhere. You know, that's someone that we can trust and be like, okay, maybe what you have to say might bring Jessica Kent down online, but you look like a good person. Not like a person that has a fucking code that doesn't even exist and cannot be followed because it gets fucking flipped over like an omelette every time it suits someone. Okay? All the, oh, well, I would never do this to my homies. And then one day they cross you. Oh, and you have a zillion homies everywhere so that person will never ever feel safe again. Oh my God. I'm sick to my stomach. Or the snitching or whatever. Oh. Because you can't just fucking be good to people. I don't know, not good, like decent. No, Okay. Then you're fucking triggered. Your traits are not in check, whatever traits you might have. We all have some fucked up traits. Probably. Yeah. Maybe not ASPD, or I don't know what's, the most difficult traits to deal with besides ASPD, but we all might have some traits to keep in check. Well, yours are fucking running the show for you, okay? Not just for Jessica, for you too, Mindy, and maybe Nicole. The only one that cries about whatever. It's like, oh my god, I never meant to do that. I never did that. You're doing it again, Nicole. Yeah. Tracy got doxxed. She has an abuser that's still out there. Mindy's abuser is rotting in jail. Oh, but he has his little homies that could be after Mindy any second. Well, that's terrible to hear. If it wasn't for this bitch fucking saying every day that she can make other people hurt themselves. Like, could you shut up about it, Maybe. That could make it way easier to feel for you with your abuser situation. That would make it a lot easier to feel for you. If you could just fucking stop saying that you could make other people hurt themselves. I'm sick of it. So yeah, I don't know, whoever's still out here, I'm sorry. It's, yeah, all over the place. Have a good day, and if not good, at least a day that is not terrible, okay? A day where you stay afloat and get to the next day that is even maybe better. And yeah, I mean, there's always hope. There's always the chance to receive that fucking wake-up call, really see it and be like, okay, maybe it's a wake-up call. Not poor me, and all the others are bastards and bitches. Maybe it's a fucking wake-up call. And yeah, I don't know, whatever you feel like saying, say it. I'm here for it. I want to hear it. Whatever it is, okay? I'm probably wrong about at least a couple of things. No doubt about that, but boy, there's no fucking comparison between violence and that type of violence and this. That's not violent enough of a violence. Oh my god. I can't. Okay? I'm sorry. It did set me off. Yeah, for real. So yeah, have a good day, and if you feel like whatever, venting, sharing, telling your own story or someone else's, that's what the comments are for. I don't know how often I'll pop in here, but I'll try to see what's going on. Maybe we can talk. Maybe, I don't know, you'll tell me to go fuck myself and I'll be like, okay. Or maybe you're right about something and I'm wrong, and I would like to see it, This is a raw reaction to something that really stirred my feelings up a lot. And if there's any DV survivors out there, no point posting the helpline for a non-English speaking country that I live at. This is probably going to be more for English speaking people, but there's helplines everywhere. It's very public, very available, and if that's the case, please reach out. And don't have other people tell you that your abusive situation is not abusive enough. Ever. That it's not violent enough, or it's not that type of violence enough. Fuck anybody who even tries to insinuate stuff like that. Okay? It could be financial, psychological, the other that begins with S. Whatever it is, you don't have to be beaten to pulp to tell that you're being abused, okay? There's all kinds of abuse. And what Mindy here keeps promoting, I'm gonna make you hurt yourself. That's fucking violence. That she's not even able to do it, it's another thing. But that she fucking flexes that even, wow. Okay, so, anyway, bye-bye.